Hello friends, welcome to my channel General Knowledge Dose. In this session we will see some very important questions related to the digestive system which will be very beneficial for all the competitive examinations as well as the academic sessions. So let's start. The first question is, name the glands associated with the human digestive system. So to begin with the digestion process, the first thing that we need to see is the glands which are associated with it. So the answer for this will be D, salivary gland, liver and pancreas. Next question, in which part of the body digestion of protein begins? Digestion of protein begins in the stomach. Next question, name the largest part of the alimentary canal. The largest part of the alimentary canal is small intestine. Next, in which part of the body food gets absorbed? Food gets absorbed in the small intestine, that is B. 90% of the digestion takes place in the small intestine only. The entire things we will see in this session later. Next, in which part of the small intestine the process of digestion is completed and absorption of digested food starts? So it starts into the digestion process is completed and absorption starts into the jejunum, B. Next, what is the function of bile juice secreted by the liver? The function of bile juice is it makes the food alkaline, A. Next question, which among the following is an enzyme that can digest fat? The correct answer for this will be lipase. Lipase is an enzyme that can digest fat and it is a type of proteins which are made in our pancreas. And it is very normal to have small amount of lipase in the blood also. Next question, that undigested food stored in the liver in the form of carbohydrates is called? The correct answer for this is C, glycogen. The undigested food is stored in the form of carbohydrates which is known as glycogen. Arrange the correct sequence of steps involved in the process of human digestive system. So there are a series of steps which aids into the complete digestion. So we will see that. The first thing that happens, the first step is the ingestion, then digestion, then absorption, then assimilation and then egestion. Okay, this is the correct sequence of the human digestive system. Ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. Next question, the enzyme diastase is secreted in which among the following? The enzyme diastase is secreted in the oral cavity. We will see some important notes here. The starch hydrolyzing enzyme diastase converts the complex carbs into the smaller ones and it promotes the digestion in case of abnormalities, that is chronic illness, stomach fullness, all these situations, that is abnormalities के case में this helps in the or it promotes the digestion. And it is an enzyme that converts starch to maltose and this is secreted by the oral cavity, that is the mouth. Next question, cirrhosis is a disease that affects which among the following organs? So the correct answer for this will be B, liver. We will see some important points here, that cirrhosis is a later stage of liver scarring or fibrosis which is brought on by a number of disorders and diseases affecting the liver, which includes hepatitis and chronic drinking. And in this situation what happens, that there is a malfunctioning of the liver, that is the liver is unable to perform its tasks of carrying out essential metabolisms, protein synthesis and creation of blood clotting factors, and also there is a problem in the drug and toxin filtration. So these are the abnormalities which are faced by the liver in case of liver cirrhosis. Next question, Which among the following parts of the alimentary canal the renin enzyme is secreted? So the renin enzyme is secreted in the stomach. A. Next question. Which among the following organs opens in small intestine through pylorus? The correct answer for this will be A. Stomach. Next question. Bile is secreted in which of the following cells? Bile is secreted by the hepatocytes. A. Hepatocytes. Next question. Saliva helps in the digestion of? The correct answer for this will be starch. We'll see some important notes here. Saliva has an enzyme which is known as amylase, and this amylase and ptyalin, and this converts starch into sugar. So saliva has two enzymes, amylase and ptyalin, which converts starch into sugar. This is how digestion of starch takes place. Next, select the correct sequence of parts in human alimentary canal. There is a like the sequence of digestive processes there, ingestion and so on. The same way, the correct sequence of digestion involves the correct organs through which it is aided. So, the correct answer for this will be mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. The food from the mouth goes into the buccal cavity, then to the esophagus. Esophagus is also known as the food pipe, and this is the organ where there is no digestion of food. It only carries the food from the buccal cavity to the stomach. Then small intestine and then large intestine. 90% of the digestion happens in the small intestine. Okay. So next question. Okay, so the notes is there, the same thing it has been written here, that is the digestive system consists of alimentary canal, which is further divided into buccal cavity, food pipe or esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, which ends into the rectum and the anus. Next question. Which juice secreted by the organs in the alimentary canal helps in the digestion of fats? So, the digestion of fats is done by bile juice and pancreatic juice. Answer is C. We'll see some notes here. Bile juice is secreted by the liver and it does not have any type of enzyme. What it does is it makes the food alkaline and breaks down the fat molecules. It makes the food alkaline and break down the fat molecules, whereas the pancreatic juice is secreted by the pancreas and it contains several enzymes like amylase, trypsin, pancreatic lipase, nuclease, amylase, lipase, and the secretion of pancreatic juice is regulated by the hormones secretin and cholecystokinin. Next question. In the buccal cavity of human beings, the digestion of which of the following gets started? The digestion of carbohydrates starts in the buccal cavity. So, the human digestive system consists of two parts, alimentary canal and the associated glands. The mouth leads the food to the buccal cavity. The buccal cavity has a number of teeth and a muscular tongue, and the upper portion of the buccal cavity is called the palate. The digestion of carbohydrates begins in the buccal cavity. From the mouth, the food reaches the stomach through a food pipe which is known as esophagus, and there is no digestion inside the food pipe or esophagus. Next question. What is the role of mucus secreted by the stomach? Mucus plays an important role in protecting the lining of the stomach. It protects the lining of the stomach. We'll see some important notes here. Mucus or gastric mucus is a gel barrier secreted by the epithelial cells and the granular cells in the stomach wall. It protects the inner lining from the hydrochloric acid, HCl. Next question. Which is the longest organ of the digestive system in human body? Longest organ is the small intestine, whose length is 7 meters and 22 feet, and the major function or the primary function is to absorb nutrients and finish the food digestion. Next question. After digestion, proteins is converted into what? Protein is converted into amino acids. Notes are there that proteins are broken down into amino acids and food deterioration is facilitated by the amino acids. Next question. A digestive enzyme, salivary amylase, in the saliva begins the digestion of what? So, the correct answer for this will be A. Carbohydrates. Some important notes. Again, this is already told earlier in the earlier question that human digestive system has two parts: alimentary canal and associated glands. The mouth leads to the buccal cavity. Digestion of carbs takes place in the buccal cavity and it performs the two major functions. This is a new thing mentioned here, that it performs mastication of food and facilitation of swallowing. A digestive enzyme, salivary amylase, in the saliva begins the digestion of the carbohydrates. The chemical process of digestion is initiated in the oral cavity by hydrolytic action of the salivary amylase, and from the mouth the food reaches the stomach through a food pipe which is known as esophagus, and there is no digestion of food there. Next question. Dietary fibers are very much required in our daily food. So as to, what is the function of the dietary fiber? So the answer for this is to get rid of the undigested food. Okay, we'll see some notes here. Fiber is a type of carbohydrates that keeps our digestive system strong. It is very important for obesity and diabetic patient to consume fiber every day, and it is mainly found in the food such as bran, wheat flour, green leafy vegetables, seasonal fruits, and all these. Fiber is also known as digestion of the body, responsible for the digestion of the body, and it is an essential carbohydrate of the body. However, there is no nutrient content in it. Next question. Which of the following enzyme in the human body starts the digestion of proteins? So, the protein digestion is started by pepsin. We'll see some notes here. The enzyme pepsin digests proteins. The protein is the basic molecule in the human body, and the proenzyme pepsinogen comes in contact with the hydrochloric acid. Pepsinogen and hydrochloric acid, which transforms into pepsin. And this pepsin transforms proteins into peptones. Next, which of the following glands is responsible for producing insulin, the major hormone in the body responsible for the sugar metabolism? The correct answer for this is A. Pancreas. Insulin is produced by pancreas. Some notes we'll see here. Pancreas is a part of the digestive system which is placed in the abdomen beyond the stomach and performs as a gland. It serves as both endocrine and exocrine gland. Okay. As an endocrine gland, it assists in the secretion of hormones like glucagon, insulin, and regulates the blood sugar level. As an exocrine gland, it helps in the secretion of pancreatic juice by pancreatic duct into the duodenum. Okay, so it functions both as endocrine and exocrine gland. This is the important question. Next. The majority of water from the indigestible food is absorbed in the correct answer for this will be large intestine. Majority of food is absorbed in the large intestine. Here, the large intestine functions in absorbing most of the water from the undigested food, and the large intestine primarily moves in three ways: peristalsis, mass peristalsis, and haustral churning, and the waste is eliminated from the body through the rectum, and the length of the large intestine is roughly 5 feet or 1.5 meters. Next question. Which among the following portion of the stomach opens into the small intestine? So, the correct answer for this will be pyloric portion. Notes here is, the stomach is a muscular J-shaped, thickly walled bag structure whose function is to store the food for several hours by a sphincter which is known as gastroesophageal sphincter. Okay. Next is It is further divided into 4 parts that are fundus, cardiac, body and pyloric regions. The pylorus is a narrow cone-shaped constriction placed at the end of the stomach and starting of the small intestine. And it consists of 2 sections: antrum, which combines the parts of the stomach, and pyloric canal, and joins the stomach and the small intestine. So it is a junction between the stomach and the small intestine, and the pyloric region opens into the small intestine through pyloric sphincter. Next question: where do the majority of digestive process occurs? So from this session above, you must have understood till now that the majority of digestive processes occurs in the small intestine. 90% of the digestion and absorption of food takes place in the small intestine, while remaining 10% is taken place in the stomach and large intestine. The majority of digestion and nutrients absorption takes place in the small intestine. There are a number of tiny finger-like projections in the lining of the small intestine, which is known as villi. Next question: which hydrolytic enzymes reacts in low pH environment? So the answer for this will be protease, D, protease. Some notes related to it are hydrolytic enzymes deassembles proteins, lipids, nucleic acids, carbs and fat molecules into their most basic components, and mostly all digestive enzymes are hydrolytic enzymes. Because the main function of hydrolytic enzyme is to deassembling of the proteins, lipids, nucleic acids, etc. And due to release of HCl, the pH of the stomach is low. Since HCl is released, so pH is low, and protease is a protein digesting enzyme that operates in low pH. Okay, that is in the stomach. Protease is actively functioning in case of low pH environment, so it functions actively in the stomach. Next question: where is bile juice formed in the human body? Bile juice is formed in the liver. C, liver. Important note here is the largest gland in the body is the liver, and bile juice, which is kept in the gallbladder, is secreted by the liver. A shared duct allows for the flow of both pancreatic and bile juice into the small intestine. The liver stores glycogen, which is a unutilized glucose. The liver produces bile juice, urea and heparin, and 75% of the blood that the liver receives comes via the portal veins, with the remaining 25% coming via the hepatic artery. So that is why liver is also known as dual blood supply. So it's an important point. 75% of the blood comes from the portal veins and 25% comes from the hepatic artery. So the liver is said to have dual blood supply. Next question: which of the following is not a human salivary gland? Human salivary gland is parotid, submaxillary and sublingual are already there. So infraorbital is not a human salivary gland. Some notes we'll see here: the parotid, sublingual and submaxillary and infrared glands are 4 pairs of salivary glands which are found in rabbits. Humans do not have infraorbital gland. The renin enzyme is secreted in which of the following areas of the alimentary canal? Renin enzyme is secreted in the stomach. And some notes we will see here are: renin is a proteolytic enzyme which is present in the gastric juice in the stomach of infants, which aids in the digestion of casein, that is the milk protein. Okay, renin promotes the digestion of casein, that is the milk protein, and it is produced by the main cells and is also referred to as the chymosin. Renin secretions are at their highest in the first few days after birth. Then they start to fall and then pepsin takes its place. Okay, renin is released as an inactive proenzyme which is known as prochymosin and becomes active when it comes into the acidic medium. Next question: in which of the following body parts digestion will not take place? Digestion does not take place in the food pipe. This is already told in the earlier part. Next question. A human adult's digestive tract from mouth to anus is about how long? So the correct answer for this will be D. It is almost 9 meters long. Next question. The instrument used to examine a person's digestive tract is called. The instrument which is used to measure or which is used to examine the person's digestive tract is known as endoscope, and the study is known as endoscopy. Next, what is the procedure for ingesting food known as? Ingesting food is known as C. Ingestion. We'll see here some notes. There are 5 phases of the digestive process which goes in the following order: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. Ingestion is what? It is the process by which we take the food into the body. Food is taken into the body is known as ingestion. Next is digestion. It is the process by which food consists of larger molecules and is transformed and broken down into water soluble molecules. The larger food molecules or the complex food molecules are broken down into smaller absorbable form molecules or water soluble molecules, and then absorption takes place. It is the process by which digested food enters into the bloodstream. Okay, ingestion हो गया, digestion हो गया, अभी absorption. तो जो food है, the digested food enters into the bloodstream through this process. Assimilation is the process by which ingested food is absorbed by the body cells. Okay, body cells will absorb the ingested food as a fuel and source of growth. And finally the egestion, that is the elimination of the undigested food from the body. Next question. Which of the following is not involved in the stimulation or of the release of the pancreatic juice? So the correct answer for this will be D. Cholecystokinin. Next, there is notes here. A peptide hormone of the digestive tract is cholecystokinin. It helps in the promotion of the breakdown of proteins and fats, and it is produced by a cell in the small intestine's epithelium and is secreted in the duodenum. It triggers the gallbladder to secrete bile and pancreatic juice. Next question. Which pancreatic cells are secreted by the insulin hormone? Insulin hormone secretes beta cells. B beta cells. The islets of Langerhans in the pancreas contains a particular type of cells known as beta cells, and this generates insulin and are the most frequent of the islet cells. The body needs insulin to transport blood sugar to all of its cells. Because of the insulin shortage, there is too much sugar in the blood and insufficient sugar for the cells to be used as the fuel. Next question. The majority of fat digestion takes place in the small intestine. Some notes here are: pancreatic lipase assists at the beginning of the fat digestion in the duodenum, but due to its tiny size it can't be finished there. Further, the small intestine is a part of it, and in babies the stomach is where some digestion takes place already. Next question. Which cell organ helps in the intracellular digestion? So the correct answer for this will be C. Lysosome. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe for more useful videos. Thank you.